Hey everyone, I hope your week's off to a good start. There were a couple of projects that I needed to take on today. 2, in fact, and I thought you might want to tag along. First, a very quick tip. Now that the girls are outside full time, we've been a little concerned about predators in the air, things like hawks and turkey vultures that we'll see flying around occasionally. So I've been doing a little bit of research, and one thing that I've come across a couple of times are people suggesting these little owl scarecrow thingies. I got this one from Tractor Supply for 20 some odd bucks, and it's got a rotating head, and it supposedly scares the hawks off because they don't want competition, I guess, when they're looking for food. So if they see another apex predator scoping out the chickens, they're not even going to mess with them. That's what I read. I don't know if there's any truth to it, but I hope there is. So I set this thing up today, and we're going to see if it scares them away and keeps the chickens safe. It was pretty easy to set up. All I did was kind of take this little hole out of the bottom and throw a bunch of gravel in it to weight it down, and just set it on top of the girls' coop. My first project is really easy. Basically, I need to take this bird seed holder, find a spot for it, fill it with seed, and hang it up. Part of me thinks that bird feeders are more about the entertainment of humans and their pets than they are for the benefit of the birds themselves. It is entertainment, after all, sitting there watching all the birds congregate, trying to count out how many species of jay you can attract. But regardless, I think the birds will be pretty happy if we were to do it. So with that in mind, I'm trying to find a good spot where I can hang this thing and get the best vantage on all the action. There's the front porch, nice and shady. I kind of like the idea, but I start thinking about all the birds and their poop collecting on this deck. So, I don't like that. Let's keep going. This tree seems perfect, but it's out of the way. We're never really looking out in this direction. Let's keep going. And what if I take one of these ferns off, hang the bird feeder there instead? Again, as attractive of an idea as that is, we're never really going to look out here. Okay, I think I found the right place. So there's this beam here on the carport. It's got a couple of eye hooks hanging off of it. Now we can see these eye hooks from our bedroom, the kitchen, and the mudroom. So I think we may be in business. The only ingredient missing now, of course, is the birds. So if any of you birds are watching this, stop on by. There's some free food for you. My next project is a little more involved, but I honestly think I can knock it out today. Now, you might remember that I've been using this old metal shed as a place to keep the chickens when they were chicks, a brooder shed. Well, the chickens are no longer living in there. They've spent 2 nights outdoors now in the chickshaw, and they're not going back in there. So ultimately, I'd like to take this old shed and turn it into a place where I can store stuff, use it for its original purpose. Part of me is thinking I might be able to keep the extension cord running out here and use it as kind of like a mini workshop. I could set up a table in there and start doing my wood projects out here. I don't know, we'll see, but either way, it needs to be cleared out. It's really messy inside. There's these wood chips, obviously, and assorted chicken bric-a-brac that needs to be removed. Luckily, I put a tarp under here, so it should just be a matter of sliding the tarp out and hauling that stuff to the fire pit and taking all this stuff that I've got waiting in the pub, all this construction debris and tools, and moving it in. I think the first thing I'm gonna do is get the big stuff out first. The cinder blocks, the bricks, the heat lamp. Now, if that won't work as good kindling, I don't know what will. Okay, so I'm pretty proud of myself. I'm pretty happy with what I was able to accomplish here today. I started this project out, and this was a really kind of stinky, woebegone chicken brooder space. And right now, it is a very functional shed. I'm gonna get an extension cord out here, plug in a light, and load up some tools. I'll see you in a second. All right, folks, I'm back, and I think it's fair to say that I got myself a work shed now. After about 40 minutes or so of loading the place up with tools and spare wood and extra chairs and lawn stuff, I think this shed is now fulfilling its original duty in life, which is to store things and not chickens. All right, so I think I'm gonna haul this junk off, or at least stage it somewhere, and then call it a night. You know, I started off the day in kind of a funky mood. I felt like there's just too much to take on and kind of been floundering lately. There's more I could be getting done. But I'll tell you what, after finishing this shed and finally having a new workspace, a place where I can store things, I feel 100% better. If you're down in the dumps or not feeling like things are clicking, I'd suggest maybe try giving a project to yourself. Something small, something you can complete in a day, but something that you can look back at when you're done with it and say, wow, my life is a little bit better because I did that. For me, today it was this shed. It feels really good to look back and say, man, this started, it was a nasty chicken brooder, and now it's a functional space. So yeah, I'm gonna haul this stuff off and hope you had a good time hanging out with me. Till next time.